Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. I hope you spent it with some friends, some family, your loved ones. We sure did, but we spent it with a lot of friends. So we woke up, went to a workout. Well, I went to a workout class. Jack did his own workout, got a great one in, and then we ended up going to my boss's house for the first half of the day. I didn't even get a picture or a video of what we ate, but I did end up getting this quick video of like all the sweets. We brought the pumpkin pie, of course, and then after that, we came home, fed Oakley because we didn't want to like leave her all day, and then we went to my one of the Hellcats' house. It's Friendsgiving. I feel like everyone's looking at me. Here's the spread. Enjoy the spread.
I'm the spread.
The spread. All of the sides were pretty much made by Katie. Katie, tell the vlog. Okay. Love birds. They just got married. What'd you make?
Casserole, mac and cheese, and mashed potatoes.
So in the morning we started with mine, and then later we went to Jack's coworkers, and it worked out real well because one of them was doing like a lunch, the other was doing dinner. So it was nice. We really got like 2 Thanksgivings and hung out with like 2 of our friend groups. And yeah, it was a lot of food. We came home and took this video. You're gonna see just how unwell we are. You're ending the night with tea and Oakley and Jack playing. Little detox tea or sleepy time tea. It was quite a Thanksgiving day. I feel so bloated, like 1,000,000 pounds. So does Jack. Yeah. That night, Jack was down so bad. Poor guy. I just remember him hiccuping like so much. We have not ate and stuffed our face like that in a long time. Yeah, it was a good one, to say the least. Moving on to what the thumbnail of this vlog says. Guys, we blindly picked our wedding venue. I can't even believe I'm saying that because I've done like 2 separate vlogs on like checking out all these stunning and gorgeous wedding venues in the South Florida area. So we first looked at the Keys, well, my family and I did, but this was when Jack was at boot camp for his like Army basic training thing. And then, so like that was like in June. And then Jack and I flew back pretty recently, like maybe a month or so ago, and we looked at some venues in Miami. And we must have looked at like, I think we did 3 venues in Miami and then 3 or 4 in the Keys. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but we looked at a lot. And like by the end of those 2 trips, I was like wedding venued out. Like I can appreciate the beauty in all of them. But at this point I was like, we just need to like pick something because it was getting to the point where like we didn't have a date on when we were going to do anything. Like I didn't know when to start like booking vendors because we really couldn't book like a photographer or videographer or like anything like that because we didn't really know when it was going to be, what the venue was going to be. So we have finally nailed down so many things and we're like, it just feels so good. Like it feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So back to picking this blindly. So this was maybe a couple weeks ago. Like this was actually when Jack's parents were in town. So yeah, maybe not, like a little more than a couple weeks ago. My parents were looking at another venue in the South Florida area still. It's in Port St. Lucie, if you guys are familiar. And they called me and they told me like maybe a week or so prior to them doing this that they were going to go look at this venue. It was something that my mom saw. She wanted to go look at it. And I was like, great, FaceTime me in. I saw like the virtual tour with them, but I still have not been there personally. But my mom and dad say like, this is it. Out of all the ones we looked at, like this is perfect. Like you're going to love it. And it just checks so many boxes because what we were finding in I shouldn't say it's all South Florida. So what we were finding in the Keys and Miami, like I mean, we all know this, weddings are so insanely expensive and everyone has their own viewpoint on this, their own opinion on like what to spend, what not to spend, like what they're willing to do, what they're not. And like, realistically speaking, like we're doing like the full wedding. I come from a huge Italian family. It's very popular in our family to like, you know, throw the party, do the big thing. And I do want that. Like I want to celebrate like it's the one time in our life that we're doing this. And I'm excited about it. Like I want to do that. I want to party with like my friends, my family, like all our closest loved ones. But it is like insanely expensive. Like we were looking at venues where they were charging like $300 a plate to maybe even more, like upwards $350 a plate to host this event. And when you think of like the guests that you're inviting, like my family alone comes out to like 66-ish people. And I know there's probably gonna be people saying like, you don't have to invite them all because they're family, but like my family is very close. Like these are people that like, okay, I have 13 first cousins. My mom is one of 5, so all my aunts and uncles, and like I am very close with those people. Like it's not like my distant aunt in the corner that like I see once every 5 years. Like no, I like literally see all these people. Like my cousins are very close. Like all the girl cousins will be bridesmaids in my wedding. Like that's just like how our family is. Like it's very tight knit. And so we're huge. And so when you think about that, and then like I have friends, I have friends from all different parts of my life, whether it be my college friends, my high school friends, going like my first TV news market friends in South Carolina or those in Cincinnati. Now we have our friends here. Jack has his drum friends, our band friends. It's a lot of people. And when you start adding those numbers together, I think we wrote an initial list and it was 170 people. And we didn't even invite, like, I feel like that wasn't everyone. I feel like that was like, we were like making the tough decisions, and we still are trying to like finalize that list and, really come to terms of like, okay, what's like the general rule of like who we're going to invite, who we're not going to, like, if we haven't talked to you in 2 years, like you're not coming to the wedding kind of deal. And like, we're still finessing and fine tuning all of that. But picking this place that my parents viewed gave us the opportunity to invite more people on a better budget. And that was something that was very important to us. So a tip that I got early on in my wedding planning process was like pick 3 things that are very important to you, the groom, your parents, like your loved ones, all that, and prioritize those 3 things. So for us, well, for my mom, it's the food. For Jack, it's the food and the music. So that's 2. And then for me, it's the photography and videography. Like I mean, obviously I have a YouTube channel. I love like having things in photos. I feel like my Instagram is like my real life scrapbook. That's how I treat it almost. And I love, like, everywhere I go, I'm always taking pictures or videos, and it's just very on brand for me. And so I knew who I wanted for our photographer and videographer for years now. I mean, I've been following their page. They did, like, I shouldn't say like a friend, but it was a person I interned with in Orlando, like back in college. He and his wife just got married, and not just, but like I found them through him, and I was like, oh my goodness, because their photos came out amazing. It's like a photo video team. Like the wife does photo, the husband does video, and so you hire them and you get the whole package, or you could hire them individually, but like I knew I wanted video. So I ended up like having them in my brain, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to like pick a date so I can immediately reach out to them and be like, please have this date open. And so let me back up. I feel like I'm going like everywhere. So my parents FaceTime me into this call. It's a Saturday, and it's like still lagged a little bit because like on FaceTime, I was like in a poor area of service, but I'm able to see everything. And my mom is like over the moon about it. She's like, Jenna, this is it. It's so beautiful. Like it's beach, it's chic, it's Florida palm trees, it's elevated, it's elegant. It's just everything that I could want in a venue. I mean, the only other thing that I was thinking of, because we were toying with the idea of maybe doing like a destination wedding where it wouldn't just be like you're doing a day of thing. Like you would have like the weekend and everyone would be there, because like most of our guests will be flying in for this wedding. And I know people are going to comment on here saying like not everyone's going to be able to afford it, or not everyone's going to be able to come down to Florida. But I do feel like we have enough people to where like we would still hit the 150, which is like our goal number of guests. We want to like try to get it down to 150, which I think is doable. And I do know life happens, right? Not everyone's going to take the trip down to our wedding. That's fine. Totally, like no hard feelings. But I know a good amount will. Like I've talked with a lot of my friends that are out of state, a lot of Jack's friends who are out of state, and a lot of them are like, yeah, we're coming. Like we're definitely, wherever it's gonna be, we're there. Had we have chosen some of those other venues though, like these beautiful ones we looked at in the Keys or Miami, like we would have had to make really tough decisions in terms of our guest list, and we didn't want to do that. And so we blindly picked this venue. My mom was like, this is it. And I just trust her judgment because we've looked at so many, and I've told her like the things that are important to me in a venue, and it is stunning. Like this is their Instagram, the Crane Club at Tesoro, and I am just so wowed by it. Like my mom says, when you go in, when you get to the venue, you're driving through and it's just like a plethora of palm trees, and then you're greeted by this grand old entrance. It looks like like a castle almost. And there's just, again, more palm trees everywhere. There's a beautiful lake over there. And then, okay, yeah, we're gonna flip through their Instagram photos here. First thing pinned to their page, I mean, is just stunning with like all these florals, and you have like the white linen. And I mean, it just looks like a gorgeous, timeless, elegant wedding. And it really is like that wedding of your dreams. I mean, that's like literally what the caption says, and it's just so truthful. And then there's just so many photo op places here, which was important to me. Like this is the one day that you get married, and I want to be able to remember all of this. And so for me, I wanted it to give like that Florida look. I love that Florida. It's just like you're in a postcard all the time. And so, I mean, look at this like white staircase with the palm trees everywhere. I mean, what a beautiful like groom and bride picture there. This photo right here with this stunning bride in front of these panels, these wood panels, this is actually the photographer that we went with, the Samantha Farmer photo film. So it's kind of interesting to see. So like she took all of these, but like look how pretty that, I think that's like where the bridesmaids and the bride gets dressed for the wedding, and just stunning. So when we picked this venue, my parents were like, okay, well, we got the date. We're doing March 2025. I'm not gonna like specifically say the date on here, but it's perfect. And as soon as I got the date, I called, or I DM'd, or I emailed the photographer, and I was like, hey, my name's Jenna. I've been following your work forever. Do you have XYZ date open? She emailed me back within like 5 minutes. She was like, yes, I do. But like, if you guys are in the wedding planning stages or know anything about the wedding industry, like good photographers book up quick. And I knew that. And so I was like, I immediately went to this woman. I was like, please tell me you have this date. And when she said yes, I was just like, oh my God. I think that was really the moment for me where it felt like, wow, it's happening. Because yeah, like we booked the venue, but I wasn't even there to like really book it. Like my parents are helping us with that process. And then I did all the process with the photographer. We called them. We had like a chit chat with them on the phone. They are amazing. They're everything that I thought they would be, just from, I feel like that creeper that's been like following them forever. But ever since I had saw those photos from the guy I interned with, like in their wedding and how stunning they came out, I was like, oh my God, I want her. I want her to do my future wedding. I think I saw this before Jack and I were even engaged. So to get them, I was just like, oh my God, it's like crazy, because you just like envision this, right? And so as all the pieces are coming together, so now we have our venue book, our date secured, we have our photographer and videographer. And so like things are starting to come together. And I feel like we've been engaged for like a hot minute, because he proposed in March. So we wanted to like kind of keep the March, because he proposed in March. We want to get married in March. So it'll be 2 full years pretty much. And that's perfect for us. Like I have told you guys on here, we're doing a long engagement, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Because we are planning a wedding out of state, it's hard to get to like Florida all the time to like, you know, do all these like venue things, or to whatever else is going to come in terms of this timeline. I'm still like in the early stages of this. I only have a couple things booked. But like now comes the dress shopping. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to get my dress here in New York or if I want to do it in Florida. I'm on the fence. I booked a couple appointments, 3 boutiques in Florida, and then 1 actually here in the Hudson Valley, because I've been talking with the one here in the Hudson Valley for a work thing that we're doing with J Mark. I work at a local jewelry store doing like all their social media, and I'm trying to do like a local business collab kind of thing with like a local bridal boutique and our jewelry store, whatever. So on the work side, and I was through conversation, I was telling her like, yeah, oh my God, like I'm actually engaged too. I need to try on some dresses. And she convinced me. She's like, you have to come here. Let's do an appointment. So I have an appointment with them in January. So that appointment will be first. And then prior to like talking to this local boutique here, my mom was like, why don't you make some appointments? Because Jack and I are actually flying to Florida in February. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll do a couple appointments there, because my mom does want to be part of it, and I get that. So I don't think I'm gonna have like a big crowd when we do like wedding dress shopping. I think it's only gonna be my mom and then my 2 cousins who are like sisters to me. My 2 girl cousins are older than me, and so they're my mom's sisters, girls, and both of them are like maid of honor kind of people in my wedding. So I don't want to have a lot of people because I don't want a lot of opinions. My Italian family is opinionated enough, and that's all I need. My mom will tell me as it is. If it's great, if it's not, obviously it'll be my choice. And like, she wants me to pick the dress I want, but my mom is not going to let me go up there looking not my best. I don't know. I should say, like, she's just gonna tell me truthfully like what she thinks of the dress, and I want that. I want her opinion, and I know my two cousins will do the same. But I don't think I'm gonna be that bride that has like 10 girls that are like all my bridesmaids and everything there like with me as I go wedding dress shopping. So in total, I have 4 boutiques booked, and I think that's way more than enough. I just wanted to get a couple different samples while I was in Florida because I am leaning towards getting the dress in Florida. Here's why. I don't want to have to take my dress from New York to Florida. That's reason number 1. 2, it's kind of an excuse to have to keep going back to Florida for all the dress fittings. I don't think it'll be that many, but I know I'm going to be back and forth enough anyways. Like I plan to visit, Jack and I plan to visit both sides like at least twice a year. So I think that would be a decent amount. Like if we go in February, get the dress, then do one more later on that year, and then the one right before the wedding. Like I'm sure we'll go up in January. Wedding will be in March. Bada bing, bada boom. I could be totally wrong. Maybe I'm gonna have people in these comments here saying like, no, you need to get fitted like 10 times, whatever. I don't know yet, but we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna go with whatever A is best for the budget, but B just makes the most sense. Like, should I get it here? Should I get it down there? I don't know. Maybe I fall in love with the one dress here and it's like, this is it. And I go for that, but we'll see. I also don't want to spend like 10 grand on a dress. I see some of these boutiques with wedding dresses, like with insane amounts. Like people, like some of these boutiques online, like A, you have to pay for a wedding dress fitting, which is like nuts. And then B, it's like our dresses start at $3,000. And I'm like, what? It's a dress you're wearing one day. There's just other things in the wedding that I would rather prioritize than getting like the glitz and glam dress. Like I want a nice dress, don't get me wrong. I don't want to skimp out on it, but I also don't want to pay 10 million bucks for it. When we're in Florida in February, we're also getting our second round of engagement pictures done. So when we signed with our photographer and videographer, because we are doing both video and photos, they do a free engagement session. So I was excited about that because I did envision we're doing a Florida wedding, like the beach chic kind of theme. I want to have our like save the dates and our wedding or engagement photos done in Florida, like on the beach. So it kind of matches the vibe of the wedding. So in February, when we do those are the pictures I think I'm gonna do for our save the dates. I didn't know it was a free engagement sessions once you signed with them. So my thing was like, yeah, we're gonna take them up on this. It'll be like a fun little shoot. So we're doing like a sunrise shoot the last day we're in Florida. It's like right after the Super Bowl. We're gonna be there, and yeah, we're gonna wake up real early. We're gonna go to the beach. It's so stunning. I can't wait to show you guys these pictures. This will be like the end of February kind of thing, or whenever she gets them to us. But yeah, I'm so pumped because I feel like things are just like coming together. I pretty much took a huge pause on wedding planning like after our first initial viewing of those venues in the Keys because Jack wasn't here, and I wanted him, as much as like he doesn't care to be part of the process, or I shouldn't say he doesn't care, but like he's like, Jenna, really whatever you want, you pick it. Like whatever you pick is what I'll love it. It's not a big deal to me. Like he cares about the food. That's really it. The music. Yeah. Okay. His loved ones are there. Great. That's like what's important to him. And that obviously is what's important at a wedding. But, like my mom and I are having the times of our lives, just looking at every single detail. It'll be really fun. I'm so grateful to have my parents help with this. And my mom is like very much doing a lot of the work in terms of like what she wants the inside to look like. And yeah, I think it's going to be a perfect day, like however it turns out on the inside. But what I love about our venue is that the inside is already so gorgeous that we probably don't have to spend much in terms of like florals or candles or anything because it's already decorated. And that was what we were finding, like when we looked at some of these venues in Miami or the Keys, like they were so expensive per person. We wouldn't be able to invite everyone, and we would still have to spend so much money just to like decorate the inside of the room. Like some of these just looked like a conference room, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But my mom was like, if we're already paying for this, like I want it to be like included. She just wanted it to look nice. I felt like a lot of the places we were looking at were just missing that wow factor to the ballroom. And so when my parents saw this place and they went and toured it, my mom was like, this place has the wow factor on the inside, on the outside. It gets you the guest list you want to have. And when our guests come, like if they're going to stay, most of them will be staying in hotels. They're not going to be as pricey as hotels like in Miami or the Keys where you're paying for that location. So it's going to be a lot more affordable for guests to come. It's going to be more affordable on our end. We'll just be able to invite more people. And I think that's what matters. Like Jack and I just want to have we don't want to have like too many difficult decisions in terms of the guest list. It just seems like the best decision all around. And so how could we not go with it? We're actually going to view it in February. So when we're down in February, I'm going, I think it's like a Wednesday to Monday or Tuesday, something like that. It's like a big chunk of time. And it's Jack's birthday weekend. We're going to look at the actual venue. I'm going wedding dress shopping, and we're doing our engagement photos that weekend. Big old weekend, but we're gonna get a lot done. And then I can really start with sending the save the dates out and doing all that. And I also am going to be probably asking my bridesmaids in February, like, let's do this thing. I have a lot, but again, a chunk of them are my girl cousins. So we're 13 cousins. It's pretty much almost half and half, guy, girl. And so all the girl cousins will be in it. And then I have about like 5 friends or so. And then Jack has his groomsmen that he's gonna pick. And then I think we're gonna fill some of them in with some of my guy cousins on the side, just so it's like an even number. But overall, we made some great progress in terms of like wedding planning and just like feeling like there's a time where we're actually gonna do this thing, because for a while we were just taking a pause and it just felt like we were like stuck in this engagement phase. So I am very excited to like see this venue with my own eyes in February, have Jack see it, get our engagement photos, do the bridal stuff, like trying on wedding dresses. So yeah, lots of fun stuff to come. Of course, I'm gonna be sharing it on this channel. So yeah, this is what this vlog is gonna be. I really just wanted to have it like a separate like wedding update vlog, because I have not been talking about the wedding stuff for a hot minute, just because I was just working through a bunch of it like on the back end here through like FaceTime and just trying to see it, you know, through a screen states away, right? So yeah, we're feeling good. It's a huge celebration for Jack and I, and we're so pumped. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I will have more for y'all next Wednesday in terms of like weekly vloggy kind of stuff, and like gonna go back to some of my meal prep stuff. I know a lot of you guys love that. So that'll all be in next Wednesday's vlog. But until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.